It's good to be here. It's good to be away. I've been in New York and my parents just came to visit me. It's a lot when they come up. My mother is aggressively liberal. Like her dream for me, I think, would be if I married a Nigerian lesbian. I think that's what she wants. She was praying that one of us was gay. That's all she's ever wanted, just one gay kid. She was just sitting in the kitchen waiting. Like, there's Coco if anyone feels gay and wants to talk about it. And whenever she visits me in New York, she always tries to bond with the cab driver and apologize for Trump. It's intense. She gets off the train with just a very jazzed up energy. She's always wearing some sort of long menopausal cape and she's just ready to build some cultural bridges in her Navajo smock. She has one of those overly spiked soccer mom haircuts. Like her hair just keeps getting more and more angular and furious. She looks a lot like Vanilla Ice at this point. And whenever she gets into a cab, she always reads the name tag. She likes to bite into an ethnic name and honor it. She'll be like, "Excuse me, Sarahanje. What a marvelous name. What region is that?" I'm like, "He's not a wine, he's a man, Karen. Leave him alone. The worst part of his day is that you have access to his name right now." She goes, "I just want to say, Sarahanje, that I am so sorry for these terrible things that President Trump has been saying about Muslims." I'm like, "That's not the way to say it, actually. I think that was the racist way to say it." She goes, "We think Muslims are fantastic, Sarahanje. And you are certainly welcome in my neighborhood." He's just glaring at her like, "I'm Sikh, you white bitch. Get out of my cab." Thank you. And she's like, "You're welcome. Cultural bridge built. Who's next?" She has no ability to see how she's just been received by any... She walks around horrifying people like, "What a wonderfully inclusive quilt I've been weaving." I can't relate. Like, I'm the opposite. I'll overanalyze the smallest social exchange. I'm extremely sensitive, which is why, like, being a comic is the hardest career if you're really sensitive, because any moment of our lives can suddenly be wildly humiliating. Like, I was in this show in Alabama. In the middle of my show, this guy just stands up out of the blue, and he just goes, "You have a camel toe." I'm not kidding. That happened. That happened to me. And I didn't feel that I did, but I couldn't, like, look down and analyze myself in front of the audience. And then this other woman stood up across the room, and she goes, "No, she doesn't have a camel toe. I thought the same thing at first." So now this audience has turned into like a town hall meeting about my crotch. And now I'm listening. I'm like, "Well, what is it then?" You know, like, I don't know what she's got to say. And he goes, no, that's a camel. That's a legit camel." He goes, "That crotch is fit to stomp through the desert." And then he goes, "That's her thing. That's probably like her little trick, you know?" He goes, "That's her hook. That's how she flirts with men and reels them in. I know what she's doing." Which is truly the most ludicrous thought I've ever heard. Like, who flirts with men like that? That is not a known tactic. Like, how would that even work? Like, I'm getting ready to go on stage. I'm not gonna hit that stage before I do my golden trick. Works like a charm. I just stop and wink at myself in the mirror, like I always do before I go on stage. I usually stop and I'm just like, "You got this, babe," because I call myself babe a lot. And then I go, "Wait, not so fast. Let me just camel myself." And it's showtime, girl. And then, so he gets kicked out, the camel toe guy, which seemed fair. It seemed like it was time for him to go, although I still miss him sometimes. But so as he's getting escorted out of the room, he just stops and turns around. He goes, "You can't kick me out of here just on account of her toe." Now he's called it a toe. And then he goes, "I'm not going anywhere. My cousin served in Iraq," which is the most brilliant reason I've ever heard. Just use your cousin's bravery to be able to stay anywhere and continue being a wild asshole. And then they're still pulling him out of the room, and he goes, I bet he never saw a camel like that in all his travels.